Israeli tanks entered Rafah today. The destruction of Hamas has begun. And joining me now is former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Prime Minister, is Israel now firmly committed to destroying Hamas no matter what, and no matter how long it takes?
I hope so. This incursion into Rafah outskirts is a good development because we have to destroy Hamas. I just want to qualify it. Right now, we've taken the Rafah crossing, which is not within the city of Rafah. It's in the suburbs and in the outskirts. We're yet to go into Rafah and actually destroy the remnants of Hamas.
Biden is no longer, it doesn't seem like President Biden is in full support of Israel. There are stories in the Wall Street Journal about delaying precision weapons because of what's happening in Rafah. Are you losing your most important ally?
I mean, what is happening in Rafah? We're trying to destroy an enemy, radical Islamic, savage, barbarian enemy that rapes, burns families, kills its own people, starves its own people. So we're just trying to destroy it. If I were running the government here in Israel, I would have done this 4 months ago and not stopped until they surrender and release all the hostages. So if anything, we should have done this way before. I just hope we follow through, and I hope the United States gives us backing, but we have to do this one way or another.
But that you are firmly committed. The government of Israel is united and firmly committed to destroying Hamas in Rafah, correct?
Well, it's a stated goal of the government. I'm not in the government right now, so I can't speak for the government. I can speak as an Israeli citizen and as a former prime minister. Yes, we have to destroy Hamas. We have no other option. And by the way, the world actually needs us to destroy Hamas, because if we don't do that, we're going to see radical Islam rear its head everywhere in the world, because they'll see that violence pays.
When this is over, and I don't know when that is, but when it's over, will you and America and Saudi Arabia go forward with a plan to have some kind of engagement between the three of you in a security pact? Is that on the cards for when this is over?
Yes, it is. I think it's vital, and it's a win-win-win. Everyone wins, because essentially the meaning of this alliance or this three-way agreement is to form an alliance against radical Islam in the Middle East, against Iran's radical Islam. And Iran is sort of like this octopus of terror that's sending its arms all across the world, all across the Middle East, and we have to finally choke its head and weaken it until we collapse that regime. The only way to make that happen is if we join forces with all the moderate forces in this region.
Many of us in America are dismayed to see the rise of anti-Semitism on our elite college campuses. Are you surprised by it? Because I've never seen anything like this before, and I've lived in America for 50 years.
I actually am surprised at the extent of this. I think it's a combination. First of all, in many cases, I've heard that 70% of the participants are not from the university, but they're from outside the university. So it's, I would say organized, etc. But then you've got students and faculty, which I would call stupid servants of radical Islam, of Iran. They don't know where Israel is. They don't know where the Palestinians are. They don't know anything about this conflict, which is a very complex. Yet they go out and fight for who are they fighting for? These rapists, for the murderers, for Iran? I know there's LGBT folks that are supporting the Hamas. Hamas would kill all of them, because that's the law in Gaza. That the Sharia law is the law that they want to apply in America. So why, in heaven's sake, would you go out and demonstrate for supporting Hamas?
Because they support Hamas, and that's what they're doing. Former Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett, thank you very much for being with us today, sir. We appreciate it, always. Thank you.
Thank you.